Hey guys, Ryan Reifert here. Wanted to bring you another update on the mask saga. I've done a few videos on this so far, about 3 or 4 already, and we've had some more developments this week, shock, surprise, so I wanted to talk about those. Before we get any further, go ahead, drop a like and subscribe, and let's get started. All right, guys, so let's get started on this topic. So on May the 13th of 2021, the CDC released some updated guidance with regards to the mask mandate and the COVID-19 pandemic. And you can see there's a infographic that I'll put up right here. You can see that there are some changes in the recommendations, to say the least. And one of the biggest changes in these recommendations that you'll note is that among fully vaccinated people, a whole lot of activities that had previously been in the red zone is avoid it if you can, but if you can't avoid it, then at the very least wear a mask. And there's red and yellow and green for unvaccinated people. Well, the CDC changed this guidance to say, look, if you're fully vaccinated, you're good for most of these activities, right? Indoor movie theaters, crowded worship service, participate in indoor exercise, eat an indoor bar, visit a hair salon or a barber, et cetera, et cetera. And this shift from the red to the green zone, right, is based on a scientific realization that the COVID-19 vaccine actually works really, really well. It has very high efficacy, very low side effects. Despite whatever your conspiracy people may tell you, it's a very, very good, very, very effective vaccine. Setting aside variant risk and that kind of thing, which we'll talk about in a minute, it's an extremely effective, extremely efficacious vaccine. And if you've been vaccinated, a whole lot of options open up to you that weren't necessarily open before. So what does this mean in terms of your business and your kind of commercial life walking around and so forth? Well, couple of questions to answer here. So first of all, can I wear a mask if I want to? Can I voluntarily mask up everywhere that I go? The answer to that is yes. You are still permitted to wear a mask. There's no one saying thou shalt not wear. Maybe some crazy people say that, but for the most part, there's no one with any real authority telling you that you can't wear a mask if you want to. Second question, can businesses still require masks? If I go into the office supply store or the restaurant or the movie theater or the whatever, and they have a sign on the front door that says mask required, can they do that? The answer to that is also generally yes, with a few exceptions. One of the exceptions was Governor Abbott released a executive order in the past couple of days stating that essentially state-run things and state-funded things cannot have that individual property-based mask mandate. Okay, well, fine. So that's, schools and state government facilities and that kind of thing. Well, there's a whole lot of independent businesses that are not state-funded, that are not schools, that are not that kind of thing. Those people can all still require masks if they want to. This is the same as having a dress code. If you go watch my previous videos, the example that I use is you can't wear flip-flops to the opera. Restaurants can require, no shirt, no shoes, no service. You probably can't wear a ski mask going into a bank. There's all kinds of different dress codes that different businesses enforce. Well, guess what? This is just like a dress code. So can your business still enforce a mask? Yes, absolutely. Your business can 100% enforce a mask mandate. If you still feel like people should be masking up and you're the business owner, go for it. That's your private property right. That's your ability to set your own dress code as a business. Again, provided that you don't do it in violation of another existing legal right, like, race, sex, gender, religion, blah, blah. Those or some other way that enforced in a discriminatory way, or et cetera. Generally, you're cool to require masks. Now, next question. Have we reached herd immunity in the United States? In some states, we're probably getting there. In Texas, we're definitely not. In Texas, I want to say the most recent statistics that I have seen are saying that we're around 60%. There are a whole lot of people who are vaccine hesitant for one reason or another. So we are not yet at the point of herd immunity. That is not what these guidelines are reflecting. What these guidelines are reflecting is a judgment that fully vaccinated people have a low risk of contracting the COVID-19 disease and a low risk of becoming contagious with the COVID-19 disease. It is not saying that, hey, we're good, we've reached herd immunity. Unvaccinated people still have the guidelines and, a whole bunch of yellow and red, as you saw from that infographic earlier. Another thing to note is that this may not be a permanent thing, right? Again, because we have so many unvaccinated people and because there are so many other countries around the world that have a ton of unvaccinated people, those countries are breeding variants of COVID-19, some of which are particularly nasty, and some of which, many of which are less susceptible to the antibodies created by the vaccine to a greater or lesser degree. So once again, the CDC has updated its guidance. This struck a few people as a surprise. It was politically surprising to a few folks, but nonetheless, we are now living in this world and behave accordingly. If you have any questions, check out my website or check out the CDC guidance. Again, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, upvote, etc., and we'll see you next time. Thank you.